Hey everybody, welcome back. What I have here is that 66 CJ5 frame. You guys have seen me do some stuff on this Jeep. I had to change all of the spring hangers. Now in the past you've seen me rivet these on, hot rivet these on. And I'm doing this project a little different. I want to show you guys different ways of doing things. A lot of guys don't like to hot rivet. That's not a problem. Let's see where we can see a good one. Okay, right here. This is a high quality bolt. You put a rivet in here, the tensile strength of a rivet is maybe 60,000 psi. A grade 5 bolt is right at 120,000 psi. A grade 8 bolt, a little more brittle, at 150,000 psi. These are dedicated frame and suspension bolts, very high quality, 180,000 psi. There's a lock nut underneath there with red Loctite, and we're going to weld the hanger on as it was from the factory. Now I had these bolts everywhere. You could see them on all of these areas here. Like I say, we're not riveting. The factory riveted because it's much faster. The rivet fills the entire hole. You never have to worry about it loosening. But you can, if you're careful with your hardware, and you've seen me many times call out the correct hardware for things, and hardware is critical. So all of those have it. And we're setting up right now to weld around the hanger. Okay, now I've got the gas drive welder. I've got the Miller Suitcase out, and we're running that with argon CO2. I got 45 thousandths diameter wire in there. I like to use 45 on frames. And let's go over and take a look at the machine. A little bit heavier duty welder than my regular MIG welder. This is the Miller Trailblazer we're going to run today. We'll get this fired up in a few minutes. And this is what I use to weld frames. I have this frame to weld, and then I have Scott's frame on the frame table to weld. And we're going to use this welder for everything. Okay guys, we got the settings just right here. I'm just welding the tie braces to the drawbar. I'm at 19 volts on the machine and 206 on the wire speed. That's laying down nice speed. It's biting in nice on the heavy stuff. So I'm going to finish up this back area here, and then it's probably going to be easier to flip the frame around than me welding on my knees and stuff. It's just easier to position stuff if you have the opportunity. So I'm going to take care of the back here, and then we'll just do one spring hanger at a time. Hey guys, things didn't go like I thought they were gonna. As it got later, the wind came up real bad, and I'm outside today, and it was blowing the gas away. I can't use the suitcase welder. So I'm just walking some 6010 1/8 inch stick rod to it and getting these burned in real good. So, you know, sometimes things don't work out. If I could be in the shop, in the new fab shop or the main shop, it would have been a lot easier, but with the move going on and things happening, I just can't get in there. So I'm going to finish these up. Had to grind that one down. I'm going to finish these up with the 6010, and if there's any areas I need to go over, I'll go over them with some 7018. But we're stick welding these in. Sun came out and wind popped up, so not a good day for being outside with a gas wire. So things happen, but we'll get around it, making things happen, and I'll show you the finished product when it's done. Okay guys, got all the spring hangers on. I'm happy with those. Like I say, I had to run some 6010 in there. It's just better for the way the day's going. Now, you know, I'm putting a Saginaw box out in front, and I got a plate cut for each side. Let me do this side. I'm going to box in both sides like this, and then the steering box is going to mount out front. Now, this is what goes here. This is your drag link. I mean, obviously this goes back, but that goes like that. You don't have to take this off when you're doing a Saginaw conversion. I like to take it off. It kind of cleans things up a little bit. They are a real bear to come out. These rivets are extremely difficult to get out, and this whole entire thing is welded. So I didn't grind anything out yet, but you see I plugged where the rivets were, welded it. I got to grind that smooth. Like I say, you don't have to take that out, but I do. It's just something I do. I think, like I say, it's cleaner looking. And I'm not ready just yet to box in the frames. I've got some holes to fill. There was a snowplow on this Jeep, so I got some holes to fill that shouldn't be here, and I'll get those taken care of next. And then we just got some cleanup to do. We'll take a wire wheel and go around all the 6010 welds and get those cleaned up so we get some epoxy on them. But the frame is coming along. I've got a little bit to do right here. Something bad happened with the master cylinder. When I got this, the master cylinder was twisted. This whole bracket pulled the nuts out and everything. So I'm going to cut it in here and put a new piece in there from another frame. I'm not sure how the master cylinder took a hit on this, but something bad happened there, and I'll get that fixed up. Maybe today, I don't know. I got to dig another frame out to get that part out of, but we're just chipping away on this, and little by little making progress. So I'm going to get this flipped over, and we'll start filling holes. Okay guys, got almost all the welding done. We didn't put our pieces in yet, the frame boxes. I'm going to epoxy prime the back of that before I weld it in, just for a little more protection. We've got some slag in where I welded with 6010. This is what I like to use to get that out. This is a Snap On tool. They call it the Crud Thug. I use this on a lot of things. It really digs out the junk in there. And I'm going to clean all the welds down, get any areas blended in that we need to, and then I'm going to get another coat of epoxy on here because I don't want to have any of this stuff rusting, you know, bare metal everywhere. So we're going to get this going, and then I'll mix up some epoxy and we'll get going with that. Okay guys, after cleaning everything down, we're going to go over this whole entire frame one more time with some wax and grease remover. This is stuff I use. You know I like the Southern polyurethane stuff. They have fantastic wax and grease remover. This is the solvent base. They have a water base. I don't use a water base too much unless I'm between coats of paint. Solvent based wax and grease remover works great from them. Alright guys, I just got it in a sprayer here, a pressure sprayer. You just kind of pump that guy up and we're just going to wash it down. Whole entire frame, everywhere we welded, everywhere we got our hands on it. You know, just want to get good cleaning so that the epoxy sticks good to it. And we'll let this dry for maybe an hour or so before we actually spray the epoxy. Just get a coat on everything. And that will eliminate any kind of non-sticking fish eyes, any kind of paint defects. This is going to eliminate all that for you. It's not terribly expensive. Some brands are horribly expensive. SPI stuff isn't terrible. And if you do any kind of painting, you should always have some on hand. Alright, we're going to blow that off, flip it over, and do the other side. Okay guys, got another couple coats of epoxy on here. Everything is looking real good. We've just got a little bit of work to do in that master cylinder area. We'll get that next time. Next thing I'm going to do on this is actually get the axles under it so I can roll it. It's a little bit in the way under this roof area that I built outside the main door here in the back. So it'd be easier if I had wheels on it and I can roll it. So next thing I'm going to do, being that it's well protected with epoxy, is I've got some springs here for Scott and this Jeep and another Jeep. So I'm going to take the springs that go with this one and I'm going to get this the axles in here, get it rolling, and then when I do a little bit more welding and grinding, and when I put the front, when I box in the front, I'll just hit it with some more epoxy, and then we'll take the whole thing, wheels and everything, get it on the rollback and stick it over in the paint booth, and we'll put the finished paint on it once all the welding's done. But for now, it's well protected. Everything's welded that needs to be welded on the spring hangers. So I've got the axles ready, and I just got to make some U-bolts and one spring plate for the front end, the Dana 30. Remember, I swapped out that Dana 27. I don't like the 27, so I put the 410s in the 30, 410s in the 44, and next time you see this frame, it will be rolling. So that's all I got for you today on this. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time.